More than 100 years after its icy demise, the aptly named Endurance Shipwreck has been found intact. We've got some beautiful footage of the wreck, interviews with some of the team members who discovered it, and a look at the cutting-edge technology that helped uncover this long-lost historic treasure. Let's get into it.
The ship is there, it's intact. The state of preservation is unbelievable. You can see the paintwork. It doesn't get any better. It is a beautiful wreck.
Trouble aboard the Endurance began back in 1915 during an Antarctic expedition led by explorer Ernest Shackleton. The ship became stuck in the thick Antarctic ice and sank down to the ocean floor, where it would remain undisturbed for more than a century.
It's conceivable that its mast and rigging had fallen over as it was being crushed. So it's conceivable that it acted like a giant parachute, so it slowed its descent down, which means it hit the seabed and it didn't break up.
A whole suite of cutting-edge tools were deployed to help researchers locate the Endurance and avoid a similar fate.
It's one of the most inhospitable places on planet Earth. The temperature has regularly plunged to less than minus 20 degrees centigrade. We've had blizzards, we've had thick snow, we've had storms. We've got drift patterns which keep pushing ice floes and icebergs towards us. We have to monitor those using satellites to avoid thick ice that might mean we risk getting stuck as well. We've got the world's most advanced underwater vehicles on this ship. Only a few have ever been made. They're prototypes. They're able to monitor 1,400 meters squared of seabed for every meter they travel forward.
It actually has a tether which goes all the way to the surface, so we can stay with it as it is searching. We can follow what it's doing. We know exactly where it is, and when we want to, we can actually see what it is seeing in real time.
Thanks to the icy conditions and the lack of wood-destroying critters living in this particular part of the ocean, the ship was found in remarkably good shape.
Endurance is 3,000 meters down the seabed. It's sitting proud of the seabed. It's a coherent wreck, so it's in basically one piece. It's as if it's been frozen in time. It's been preserved. As a result, you can see the hatchways, the stairways, the fixtures and fittings. You can see the mast, the rigging, the writing on the stern, Endurance, and that Polaris, that pole star right on the stern.
In addition to the cutting-edge technology and the determination of the crew, environmental factors also contributed to the recovery of the Endurance.
This is sea ice, this is frozen seawater. Normally in the Weddell Sea in this part of Antarctica, it can be 2 or 3 meters thick. We've been super lucky this year. Most of the sea ice here is only 1 meter thick.
This project is not just about maritime archaeology, it's also about ice science and Antarctic science, and things are happening right here beneath the hull, which are quite scary, in fact very, very scary. Ice is shrinking away, the glaciers are disappearing. This is a continent which is in trouble.
The wreck of the Endurance is protected as a historic site and monument by the Antarctic Treaty, which means that it can't be touched or disturbed.
We are not touching it, we're not taking anything from it. The only thing we are taking is data.
As I speak, we have the submersible down there conducting a 3D LiDAR survey of the whole area, including the debris field. And with that, we'll be able to construct 3D models of the wreck, which are millimeter perfect, if you like.
We are using techniques that have never been used at that depth before to bring back the most accurate picture possible of that wreck.
It feels like, all my life has kind of been, converging on this moment. This was my big white whale, and guess what? We found it.
What's your white whale? Let us know down in the comments below. As always, thanks so much for watching. I'm your host, Jesse Orrell. See you next time, everybody.